On a previous video, I showed you guys how you can create a server image for your server so that you can kind of give some information about your server that your players can see right away. But today, I'm going to show you how you can actually place a logo of your design on top of that server image. Hey everyone, welcome back to Rust Admin Academy, where I teach you guys the very best tips and tricks for owning and operating a successful Rust server. On this channel, I do a lot of plugin reviews and tutorials to hopefully teach you guys the ins and the outs of everything that you need to know about operating a Rust server. So if you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing so that you stay up to date on everything that we're working on. All right, so I happened to come across a conversation that was happening in my Discord, which, yes, I'm in my Discord. If you're not there yet, you need to be. discord.srtbull.com. Anyways, I saw a conversation about people asking how they can place a server logo on top of their server header image. And at first, I didn't actually know what they were talking about. I probably should have, because I remembered reading this from a long time ago. But you can actually place a logo on top of your header image. And this can be a very valuable tool if you're branding your server with a specific logo, or you have multiple servers that you want to create some consistency across all of them. You can use your brand logo on top of your header images. Anyways, I didn't think this was important. I didn't think this was something that anybody would be interested in, but as soon as the conversation started, people started saying, wow, I really want to have this. So I thought, hey, this would be a great opportunity to tell you guys all about it. And once you know how to do this, this is essentially what you're going to end up with. So as you can see there, you can obviously see what is my header image, where it says Srtbull's YouTube test server, but right on top of that, you can see the logo that I had one of my viewers make up for me is obviously on top of that image. It actually looks like maybe it's even a higher resolution than the actual server header itself, or maybe I just have a very bad header image to begin with. I'm not really sure. So anyways, let's break it down and I'll show you guys exactly how you can get this done on your server. So obviously the first thing that you need is obviously a logo that you want to be using. So you can go to Fiverr and have one created, or you can create one yourself using free programs such as GIMP or paid programs such as Photoshop, whatever you want. If you're graphically inclined, you can definitely make up your own logo. When you're creating your logo or you're having it designed for you, you want to make sure that it fits the dimensions of 256 pixels by 256 pixels. Once you have your logo already done and it meets those parameters, you want to host that logo somewhere. I suggest you go to a website such as Imager because it's so free and easy to use, or you can host it wherever else you want as long as you have direct access to the link and it's a publicly accessible address. As you can see, I'm inside my Imager account and I'm just going to grab the direct link right here. Just click on the copy button. Once you have that address copied to your clipboard, if you're on Iced, you're going to follow this process. If you're on a local host or something else, I'll show you a different way in just 1 second. But for right now, if you are on Iced, you want to go to your additional arguments text box. As you can see here, I have a bunch of other stuff in here, but we want to go at the end of whatever it is that we currently have in there. And we want to put in a plus sign and then server.logo image and then quotations. You want to put in the address that we grabbed from Imager or wherever you're hosting your logo from. And once we have that information in there, we can just go up to the startup command lines and just make sure that that line was actually added in, which as you can see here, it definitely was. Then you simply just need to restart your server. It'll take all these new parameters and it'll load in your new logo. So just to show you what's going on here, I've got my server header image up here, and then I've got my server logo image down below at the very bottom. I'm sure the guys over at Icehost are going to add a text box now that I've done a video on this and brought it to everyone's attention. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I'm not making any promises there, but if they don't, you can always do this in the additional arguments text box. And if you're running your Rust server on a local host type scenario, or you're on a dedicated server where you have direct access to the batch file, similar to the one that you're seeing on the screen right now, you can just simply add that same line in like you would any other CVAR. I'll put this one underneath server header image just like that. I'll of course make sure that I'm following the syntax and put in the caret at the end of the line. And then of course I would simply just save this batch file like I do any other time and restart the server like normal, and it'll show your logo on top of your header image. Now, if you're not with Iced and you're not using a local host type scenario where you have direct access to the batch file, most other service providers have an area where you can enter custom startup parameters. That's essentially what this is. Any CVAR that you add to your startup is a custom startup parameter. I know this is getting a little bit weird. Just know that it might be called something different on whichever server host you're with. But most of the ones that I've ever worked with, I can't think of one that doesn't have somewhere where you can put in custom parameters. So I'm hoping that's actually the case. If I'm wrong, of course, let me know in the comments down below. Let me me know of a service provider that doesn't allow you to put in custom parameters. So a lot of you might be wondering, why would I want to put a logo on top of my header image when I can just put my logo on my header image? And yes, you are correct. That is true. However, if you do actually use a server logo on your server, that logo will appear next to your server's name in the Rust Plus app. So that right there was enough of a reason to actually implement the logo onto all of my actual real-time servers, because I do actually use the Rust Plus app. I don't know how many people actually do. If you don't, you really should. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video. Remember, I put out a brand new video every Friday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So until next Friday, I hope you guys are staying safe and taking care of each other. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next Friday.